We had a same-day porcelain restorative system here, and there are lots of things that are against that and quite a few that are for that. The biggest problem with these systems, which are basically CAD/CAM systems, is they're very expensive from a capital point of view for the practice to bring into their armamentarium. And I did mention this at a study group one day, and one of the manufacturers of one of these systems got very angry the following day. But my comment was that if you can't afford to buy one of these things and park it in the corner and never use it again, you can't afford it, because the cost is so great for some practices that they then tend to overuse it and use it where a more conventional restoration, a simpler restoration, might be a much better option. On the flip side, there are practices that use them in situations where there are much stronger restorations that should be used, and one of the prime examples of this is to use one of these restorations on an implant, because an implant, unlike a tooth, has no springiness, it has no give, and the all ceramic restorations that are manufactured chairside don't have the inherent toughness of the more traditional crowns that are made, particularly the metal ceramic crowns. So there is some big points for and there's some big points against. One of the other points was that when you're using it, there's a tendency to be confined by time constraints within the surgery and your normal day-to-day business. And when we had ours, I only did them at the end of the day, so I could take my time and have fun with it, rather than be forced to make a restoration that looks a bit average. And my reason for that comment was because at a dental meeting where I was talking about these sorts of restorations, there was a lot of chatter before the meeting where people were denigrating these restorations, and it's because they had seen a lot that had been placed under time constraints and without the time for a lot of care, because they're very difficult to do well. And after 10 minutes, and they'd seen a number of 10 minutes of the presentation, and they'd seen a number of these restorations, and I hadn't told them that they were, I then said these were all placed using a CEREC machine. And you could have heard a pin drop, because they suddenly realised that you can do these restorations really, really well in the right place and with the appropriate amount of time to do them, so you're not rushed.